up, you guys? This is Rob from Gay Guy Plays, and today on #confirmed, we have some juicy news from tonight's prime time. I know this is like the third video I've made today, and you're like, Rob, we are tired of your stupid face. However, I just could not hold back because they actually went ahead and showed a good chunk of the Atlas. I don't want to say rework because they didn't really rework too much, but they added some really interesting mechanics into his kit. So I figured let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. You don't want to hear my voice for too long, so let's just make this snappy. Straight out of the gate, they've added a new mechanic called Rubble, which basically happens whenever you killed a petrified enemy or whenever your rumblers expire. So basically what happens is you're able to pick up these chunks of rubble that are left on the ground from killing enemies or from your rumblers, and what it does is it actually, if you're missing health, will heal you for a certain amount of health, or if you're maxed out and you're filled up on health, it'll actually give you bonus armor. Now here's the thing, I'm not sure how much bonus armor, I'm not sure if that armor is going to be able to stack infinitely, but they did say that they're going to be making a developer's post tomorrow, so I'll be sure to read that out to you guys and get you guys all of that juicy information, because I'm super excited for that. Because think about it, if you could continue stacking large amounts of armor, that is pretty sick. And let's say if your health ever dips down because you took a big old hit, you'll be able to restore that health yourself using the Rubble mechanic, which is fantastic. Now, for his first ability, they really didn't do anything too crazy with it. I don't think that they did anything with it. And off of the top of my head, I can't remember, but they did mention that Atlas's Landslide does bonus damage to petrified enemies. Not 100% sure if it's new, because legitimately, whenever I played Atlas, I would just smash into people, and that's all that really was in my brain. But you get bonus damage if they're petrified. Now, the next ability that they have, it's actually, we're going to jump to Petrify. We're going to jump to the actual Petrify ability because of the fact that it's so, it's kind of like the keystone of everything that's going on. So, Petrify now can actually be used on bulwarks and rumblers and can be used while landsliding, alright? So, you can toggle on your Petrify, and then you can go and landslide around left, right, and center with that on. So, you can be petrifying enemies and landsliding into them at the same time, which is absolutely fantastic and helps fuel your rubble. Now, you can actually use Petrify on your tectonics, so any of those, like, you know, rubble, any of the bulwarks that you have, to increase the strength of the bulwark itself. And also, whenever you decide to launch it, will actually increase the momentum of the bulwark. So it's not going to be as slow, it'll move a lot faster. And off of the top of my head, a part of me really just remembers this from the stream, is that they said that when the bulwark explodes that it'll leave rubble as well. Don't quote me on that one, because I was waiting for them to repeat it and they never repeated that part. But what they did repeat was that rumblers, when they expire, will leave rubble. But here's the thing, with Petrify, you can use Petrify on your rumblers to heal your rumblers. Okay, so that's another little synergy that they got going on over there, because Petrify did feel a little bit limiting. It just didn't really, it was kind of just like you just use it to petrify enemies and it's a little slow and it's a little bit like unwieldy. But now at least you can move around with your Petrify on by using Landslide. Anyway, let's continue on with that. The next big change that they made was that rumblers, when you're casting rumblers, any enemies caught within a certain area of effect around you will become instantly petrified. Yes! So now you've got the petrification from, you know, the standard petrify ability. You can zip around using your landslide to petrify enemies, your AoE from your rumblers, the AoE from when you're casting rumblers, I need to make that very specific, will be able to petrify enemies, and your rumblers themselves, when they expire, will leave rubble. So you're going to have a lot of rubble left, right, and center. You'll be able to pick that up, so you should be able to get yourself a good amount of armor, because this rubble will just stack up on you. You should be able to have a good amount of armor and be able to heal yourself as well, and I think that this really helps out with the survivability for Atlas, and I'm crossing my fingers. I'm crossing my fingers. I don't know, this might sound a little bit nuts if I say this, but I hope that there is no cap to the amount of armor that you can get from Rubble. Is that too much? Is that I don't know if I'm reaching here. We'll find out from the dev workshop tomorrow if that's the case. I'm crossing my fingers that that's the case, because legitimately that means that you could take Atlas into escalating missions. You're gonna kill more and more enemies. You're gonna get more and more armor. As long as you're kind of like buying into the synergies that is currently happening. And that means that he has such a much larger amount of survivability. But the thing is, it's not just blank survivability, because I know that one of the things that DE loves is to have, you know, to work towards being really, really epic, right? To really having a lot of oomph into the Warframe, but making sure that you work towards it. Kind of like Gara with her escalating her Splinter Storm. You know, it's kind of like you have to work to it, but you can keep stacking it and stacking it and stacking it for like ridiculous amounts of damage. So part of me is kind of like hoping, you know, if you buy into the whole rubble, pick up your rubble, kill petrified enemies kind of thing, that you'll be able to stack ludicrous amounts of armor, so that at least when you come up towards higher level enemies, you're not like, you know, you're not dying left, right, and center because you didn't have it. And this was what I was really, really excited about, because we were talking about in the previous video that there would be statistical changes. This is kind of like a way to statistically change Atlas without necessarily, you know, but making you work for it at the same time. So it's kind of like the smarter player has cool mechanics that they can like buy into, you know, and then the players who just want something simple can just zip around just fucking punching things, right? Anyway, so that about does it for everything that we've learned off of the prime time tonight. Let me know how you guys feel about it, and be sure to check back tomorrow, because as soon as that dev workshop goes up, I'm definitely going to read through it, and I'll definitely give you my live reactions with all of that too, and we'll have a little bit of a discussion there too. Regardless, that about does it for me. So as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch yo rubble. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!